So the WNBA CBA is something that is obviously important. It's important because if nothing's figured out, there's no WNBA season next year. And there's no WNBA season next year, there may not be a WNBA. And that's just not good for the sport of basketball in general. Because let's be real, as much as Project B and all are giving players more money to play, it's only some players. It's only some players. But look, at the end of the day, we've got to look at this as what it is. The players are looking for more money. The owners are looking to not pay the players more money. It's just what happens pretty much any time we see something like this. It's what's going to happen whenever we see a labor dispute. And who has the leverage? I think it's the first time the players have any leverage. But they have agreed on an extension until January the 9th. Apparently, they originally wanted, from what I saw they originally wanted the extension to be like 3 days. From what I saw, let's just go back to Alexa Philippou, who obviously released it. Sources tell ESPN the league's proposed a 21-day extension, has been proposed a 21-day extension. Two sides are discussing a lengthy extension, which expires at midnight. And then obviously, the union discussed a much shorter extension, 24 hours, in a 6-week proposal. My assumption is this is going to be 6 weeks because the union obviously wanted 24 hours. The league wanted 21 days. I'm guessing it was one of those things where it's like, okay, we're going to give you this and it's now or never. Like we get 6 weeks. If we don't do this in 6 weeks, there's not going to be a season. But it's almost certainly going to be a season. They're obviously, from what we've heard, the players constantly using the word slap to the face when they're talking about it. So I'm like, I don't know how I feel about the players using those words. And at the end of the day, it is a 400% increase, but the league's growing by more than 400%. Either way, I do think that something's going to get done. My guess is that the max contracts are going to be in 7 figures. I think we can all come to the agreement that in most cases with the amount of money these players are drawing in, max contracts starting at 7 figures should be a given, considering the fact that Aaliyah Chavez is a freshman and she was able to demand 7 figures to go play at Oklahoma. These top tier players are able to demand 7 figures to go play. The rumor is Olivia Miles got 7 figures to go play at TCU. So a WNBA max contract being 7 figures. And people saying, oh, the league always loses money. Yeah, most sports leagues lose money. Most sports teams lose money. That's just kind of the way it is. Most of them lose money short term, especially. Most of them definitely lose money in their operating costs. It's just when it comes to sports teams, a lot of them, while they lose money in their operating costs, they make the money back in franchise value going up. Because look, there are so many rules about teams in football not being able to lose over a certain amount of money. But a lot of teams are going bust in the hope of making a shitload of money in football. Example, I'm a Leeds United fan. We've been in the championship for the vast majority of the last 25 years. Of the last 20 years, realistically. We've been up in the Premier League for 4 seasons and we're going to get relegated back down to the championship. But there are so many owners that are willing to eat losses because eventually they're going to make their money back. Eventually they're going to make their money back on the investment, because the team value goes from a couple of $100 million into the 300, 400, 500 million if they're in the Premier League. If they're an established Premier League team, it goes up to over $1 billion. So it's one of those things. But again, we've got now a situation. The WNBPA haven't tweeted anything. They haven't posted any Instagram stories in weeks, which is a really good thing. Because at the end of the day, if you guys are seeing the Instagram stories where all the we call BS things, it'll always be, they've only said that once, but that will always be the phrase that's used, the we called BS. If you guys don't remember, basically, they decided to basically demand that USA Today, whoever had whatever publication hired Christine Brennan, they demanded they fired Christine Brennan, and they were we call BS and they leaked Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year award. They leaked Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year award. It wasn't even announced. It's like, in a week that should be used to celebrate Caitlin. It's like, what do you mean? What the fuck did Caitlin do? But yeah, it is an interesting one anyway. But I do hope that this all gets done sooner rather than later. Look, it'll be done. The reason why January 9th is there is because you're leading into the free agency period, and the players are going to be unrivaled. Everyone's going to be there. Like, most people are going to be in the States. And yeah, it's a big thing. It is genuinely a big thing with that the players, are together and being able to negotiate then. And I don't see the league not happening. Like, I think there's been so many situations where I'm like, oh, I don't think the league's going to happen. But this is one where I'm like, most definitely, I think the league is going to happen. I think there's going to be a WNBA season. And I'm like, if there's not a WNBA season next year, I would be shocked. I would be absolutely shocked. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think there's going to be a season? Do you guys think the players are holding out for too much? Do you guys think that the players are going to not get what they deserve? At the end of the day, it's one of those weird things where I'm like, what people think on Twitter shouldn't make a difference. But it seems like in the WNBA sphere, what Twitter says seems to hold way more weight than it should. Like, at the end of the day, it shouldn't make any difference. It should not make any difference realistically. What social media says. But look, at the end of the day, we are now in a situation where there's it is now 6 weeks where they are able to negotiate. They're all going to be in the country. They're all getting ready for Unrivaled. My guess is that in those 6 weeks, we're going to have something. And I would say there is an 80 to 90% chance that something's going to be sorted. And look, I could be wrong. Maybe my 80 to 90% predictions could be very wrong, and we might get nothing. There might not be a season. But I think everyone involved understands if the WNBA season stops, it doesn't happen, we might as well just never have one. Like, if there's not a 2027 or 2026 WNBA season, there's probably not going to be a 2027 one, and there's probably not going to be a 2028 one, and then you're probably just going to shut down the league. Like, this is more than a situation where I think if the owners aren't going to give you, or if you're holding out and the owners aren't giving you what you want and you go into a lockout, this isn't like the NBA. This isn't like a sports league where there's billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars to be lost. In fact, you might argue with the operating losses that the WNBA runs at, people might argue that there are people involved in this that just want to cash out. Say not even just want to cash out, just want to get out of their investments. That they're okay with the league just absolutely going under. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Look, I do think in general it's going to happen. But I think that if there is a lockout, the likelihood of the league shutting down goes to very high. It becomes very, very high. So anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.